Hello dreamers! Welcome back to A Dream in Japan. Today we're going to talk about the bouquet of changes that happen in the Japanese school system in March and April, and I'm hoping that these 10 things will help you be a little bit more prepared if this is your first school year in Japan. If you are a veteran ALT in Japan, please let me know if you think I forgot anything super important and I will pin it in the comments below. And if you're a new JET or a new ALT or English teacher in Japan, maybe some of these will shock you. And if you didn't know them, definitely talk to your coordinator so that you are more prepared than I was my first year. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell so you know when I post new videos too. Alright, so let's get started with 10 things that you need to be aware of in March and April in schools in Japan. Number 1 in our bouquet of changes is keep your suit in your car. I don't care if you're elementary, junior high school, or high school. If you do not know when the ceremonies are happening at your schools yet, definitely just put your suit in your car. Do not be caught unaware and not have your formal suit. Most graduations are formal attire, especially if you're elementary, junior high school. You may have many graduations, but you may not be at that school that day, so you might miss them, but you may also be there unexpectedly. So it's a good idea just to have formal attire with you at all times from about the end of February to the end of March. Number 2, graduation! That's right, junior high school students and high school students are going to have graduation ceremonies. Junior high school is not as big and super important as high school since they're only usually moving on to a school in the same city. But for high school students, graduation is a big deal. And it's very important that if you're a high school ALT that you find out when graduation is because it can land on a weekend. I think I went to several graduation ceremonies. It's usually on the same day of the month, so mine was March 1st all the time. And that didn't matter if it was a weekend or not. It was always March 1st. So make sure you know when graduation is so that you don't miss it if you are expected to be there. It is a full formal event. And if you are a high school teacher only, after the graduation ceremony, students spend a little bit of time getting their yearbook signed and they'll often come up and visit the staff room. So if you stick around, this is the day and the perfect time to get contact information for students that you do want to keep in touch with. So students you know are going on to be English, related majors, and other things. You are now allowed, because they are officially no longer students, to have their line, email, whatever. So ask students or offer to them if they need any English support that you'll be there for them. This is also great for students who maybe didn't pass their entrance exams and are spending a year extra studying. You could be a resource for them as well so that they have someone to talk to about their extra studying before applying for colleges again. So definitely enjoy graduation, even if it's on a weekend. Usually you get a makeup holiday, but. Number 3, staff changes are coming. If you did not already know, it is very common in Japan for teachers to rotate the school at which they are teaching. It can depend on the seniority of the teacher. It can depend on many factors. Part-time teachers switch more. Elementary and junior high school teachers you may still have if you teach multiple schools, as they tend to just move around the same city area. But if you're a high school teacher, you may completely lose teachers and never see them again. So it's very important, if you care about those teachers, that you find out who is transferring. They transfer around the 3rd week of March. If you want to give them a gift or something else, definitely be prepared for that. If you want to keep in touch, this is the time to get their contact information and make sure that you're prepared for them to leave. Also, don't forget that this could mean that your ALT coordinator teacher could also be changing, so you may have a totally new coordinator come the end of March. Number 4. This one is a little bit of a heads up, but in high school and also sometimes junior high school, even after finals, students still have about 2 weeks of classes. Though things like attendance and other stuff may already have been submitted, students still have to come to school. So this is the perfect time to whip out those games you've been wanting to try all year, because the teachers are over it, the students are over it, so this is the perfect time to just have fun with your kids and relax. Number 5. Remember how I told you to keep that suit in your car? Well, that's because there's more than just graduation ceremonies. You may notice that some older teachers are retiring. There may be younger teachers who have finally made it into full teacher status after passing some tests. And there may be unexpected promotion, retirement ceremonies, so you may want those formal clothes around. In addition to that, there may also be money collections for presents to give to retiring or promoting teachers. Think about if you're going to contribute to those. If you contribute to the teacher's pot, you may or may not have already contributed, but if you don't, you may be asked to contribute anywhere from $5 to $50. Number 6. Money, 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 and enkais. If you don't know what an enkai is because you are a Corona-era jet, enkais are big food and drink parties that typically happen. They're very common at the end of the year, at the end of the school year, and the beginning of the school year. If they are happening in a physical form, you may be asked to shell out some cash to go to these parties. You may have ones at every school that you attend. You could be invited. You can, of course, turn them down if you don't want to go. It's good to at least go to one that maybe your English teachers are having, or at least attend the goodbye or the hello. I would say that the goodbye is more important. If you're planning to stay long term, it is a good thing to think about joining just so that you sort of show your camaraderie for your school. But they can cost a lot. I think I used to pay about $100 for each all-staff party, and the food was terrible, and I'm allergic to shrimp, so it was a pretty bad party for me usually. But it was good to be there and get to talk to some different teachers. Number 7. Desk moving day. So this is kind of crazy. After all of your transferring teachers have left, and usually the first day that new teachers arrive, or possibly before that, the teachers will move their physical desks all over the staff room. Yes, they don't pack up their desks like a normal society would. They move their entire desk. But what this allows them to do is clean at the same time, because let's be real, the service of students that clean staff rooms don't really do a very thorough job. So if you are there on desk moving day, and if you're not moving your desk and you find yourself feeling like you're in the way, pick up the broom, pick up the vacuum, and help the teachers clean under the desks while the desks are being Tetrised across the staff room. It's quite an interesting sight to see. Number 8. Desk warming time. Well, between the end of the school year and the beginning of the next year, near the beginning of April, students will be gone, but you, as a teacher, will of course be sitting at your desk. Please use this time to do something practical. I have a few suggestions during your couple weeks off. Number 1, work on your self-introduction. So you will definitely be giving self-introductions again, especially to new students. You may also be asked to do your self-introduction again for all classes, even if they had you last year. This is because A, there are new teachers, and B, the students need a refresher anyway. Good opportunity to update and make your self-introductions better. This is also a great time to talk to the new teachers and get to know them a little bit before you start teaching with them in the new year. Maybe even brainstorm lesson plans and ask what type of school they came from before, because that will help you understand them a lot and their teaching styles in the classroom. You can also work on your American taxes if you are a US ALT, because tax season's coming up. But don't worry, if you're brand new, you can ask for an extension, and this is a good time to file for your extension as well. Try not to be a blob, okay? Impress the new teachers that you're actually doing something at your desk during those 2 weeks. I know it can be hard, but there's lots of things you can do. So think about it ahead of time while you're still at the end of school. What lessons can you update? What worksheets can you work on? Fixing PowerPoints, that kind of thing. Number 9. Be open to the possibility that as the new school year starts, your schools may completely change. I've heard of many ALTs who, because their predecessor was at the same school forever, they didn't think anything would ever change, and then they were quite shocked when they were asked to transfer junior high schools or transfer high schools or pick up an extra school the next year. You never know what's going to happen. Schools close often, and there may need to be a redistribution of ALTs. The prefecture or your BOE may also just decide they want to rotate ALTs for whatever reason. Just keep it in your mind that this could happen at any time during your JET contract, so not to be totally shocked if they tell you that your schools are going to be changing. Of course, you can try to talk to them about that if something seems impractical, but just remember, you're not in charge of that. Just like real teachers don't have a choice really about where they go either. And number 10, I hope that this bouquet of changes helps you and be a little bit more prepared for the coming year. And good luck in the 2022-23 school year in Japan. Please subscribe to my channel because I'll help you in every step of your jet life. And please remember to hit that little notification bell so that you know when I post new videos. Keep dreaming, dreamers.